Yeah, this is called trend view. Then we also got a integrated data gate, and also we got a M service where the PMI systems are integrated. All the values can be seen. So all can be seen in one computer itself. Okay. So how it is working? If you look at here, you can see the satellite starting from here. Your engine is here. Yeah. Then your remote control system controllers here, ECS controller here. This is the ERCS MOP. This is ECS MOP, which is presently that we have here. And then you got a EMS MOP, which will give you all the parameters on your engine. All of them are going to hub. So we also got a PMI data acquisition unit here. You go from the engine, all the parameters coming from here. Sorry. To this information box. From there, the data flows into the switch here. And from there, of course, you can have a firewall and a VPN connection. And from there, it can go to satellite and it can go to office or your office or a main office. It's all possible. Okay. So that is what presently the system is designed for. And ERCS controller is for a tier 3 engine. And now we are using Ethernet. And earlier we had ArcNet, but is presently running on the ECS computer. That is this. That is still there. And if you look at this is how your engine room now look like. This is your MOP computer, these two. So that is your EMS computer or EMS MOP. Okay, that's the latest one. And of course, you got your own working computer that is not integrated to this. So these three are connected to each other through a network connection that I told you just now. The line recorder, this can record quite a few data. It is stored all the time. So it has got two different kinds of recording. One is called line recording, other one is called trend. So in the line recording, manual dump is possible. All manual dump is possible. Whenever you like to dump the data, you just say dump, it will come. Save the data. And you can also have a 2 hours average data, 30 days up to 200 lines. So which means in 30 days, 2 hours average data will be picked up and which can go a maximum of 200 lines. That is the line recorder which will give you from this. This can be connected to the hook, the computer screen, and then you have that. Okay. Now, the trend analysis, if you want to take a trend, how does it go? It goes to 7 days average data of 5 minutes or 30 years long data of 24 hours. It also gives you 24 hours data for 30 years period of time. So which means your engine is should be sailing for 30 years. You can have a long trend data of 24 hours. So that is what it means. So this can only go to ships which have got this kind of a MOP, ECS software and above. So starting from 13 onwards, you can have all this integrated to engine control system. Your ship is with an engine having a software less than this, less than this, then you cannot integrate this at all. So then you need to go for the old PMI COCOS computer, which is also quite okay, honestly speaking. Now, what is a PMI pressure measurement instrument contains? So now earlier you used to take the parameter, your data from your engine system. You go around, you take the data, you connect it to your indicator cock, bring in. Then the latest ones have got a hub, or we call it as the switch, another way. So in this is called the data acquisition unit. This will have power supply. This will have data coming from the TECO system. This will also get information from your PMI portable transducer. So that is also available. So from here, we'll go to the computer. This is what your PMI computer. So when you open up the PMI computer, you can have the data in terms of tabular form. You can also have the graphical form, all as you wish. Not a problem at all. Okay. So now here on the right side, you can see the banana. Generally, we call it as a banana curve. So in this banana curve, what has happened? We can take the area of the curve by measuring through the planimeter olden days. That is now gone. Now we got the PI actually calculated with the engine constant and everything in terms of bar. We also can measure the Pmax and also the P compression. So all these values are always displayed on the computer, which means you don't have to worry about any of those things. Okay. Now you also know there is something called NOx technical file. In the NOx technical file, we had ID numbers, IMO ID numbers. Those ID numbers are nothing but the numbers which are there on your NOx technical file. So this will be checked by the inspector who comes for your annual inspection or 5-yearly renewal for MARPOL Annex 6, which is a part of your EIAP and IAPP certificate. So your numbers will be stamped here. This, of course, you know. So when you replace a part, you should always use the similar kind or the same ID number part, which all of you know now. But I have a question here. So if you replace a CCU or an ECU, do you have to enter it in the NOx file?
No.
Why?
Because it's not directly in the combustion process.
No, but it controls the combustion process, no? Your injection timing, everything can be changed by the CCU. And ECU is the governor also. You can change your Pmax, you can change your PI, all you can change. The reason is when you change your CCU or an ECU, you are not changing the software. Okay. The software which is being approved by a man by the class, is being loaded. When you put the ID key, it will only load the required software which has been approved. Understood? So there is nothing to worry about that part. You can just replace. But when you, with your chief access code, when you change your Pmax to say 10 bar or PI by, let us say, offset by 5%, 6%, then naturally your the parameters will vary. Your NOx will change. But you must understand with chief engineer's password, there is absolutely no need to worry because you will not violate IMO MARPOL Annex 6. With your passcode, you can only go to a certain limit. Beyond that, you cannot go. So don't worry, you will not violate Annex rule at all. Okay, now PMI design. So if you look at here, your engine, you got a portable handheld calibration device, and you have got a PMI computer. You can have the trend all the time if you like. That's what I told you, the junction box where the data acquisition unit situated. So in this box is called PMI or DAU, data acquisition unit, where all the information is exchanged from your individual cylinder unit and also from the tacho system. Okay, so then we know which cylinder and the system is calculating and measuring. Otherwise, you'll have a problem with different PI and PMX, etc. Okay, so sometimes if you have got one particular kind of sensor, then you have to actually calibrate it time to time. Yeah. So when you go ahead, I'll tell you why you have to calibrate and when you have to calibrate. Okay. Otherwise, there's another kind which you don't have to worry. It will be valid for 5 years, provided the certificate says the validity.